My, oh my, what a short squeeze that was we had today in Tesla stock. That is one of the biggest short squeezes I've seen in a long time of a stock that has a $50 billion plus market cap like Tesla's. It's not very often you usually see these type of moves in stocks that are this big, okay? In the smaller companies, sometimes that happens. What I want to take you guys through is the stock chart of the last 24 hours of Tesla and exactly what it's gone through the minds of Tesla short sellers. And then I want to expose the dark point on why the short thesis has really been doomed, guys, and why this might just be the start of things, okay? So, I don't usually talk a lot about stock charts here on the channel, okay? The main reason is I don't really get into that stuff. I like to base things off of fundamentals, okay? But in a situation like this, it's very important to look at the stock chart because it's going to show you a lot, okay, in this type of situation. So before we even get into what the short sellers were thinking, the moves the stock made and whatnot, we gotta know there are three key numbers to keep in mind with Tesla's stock price, okay? The first is $280, okay? $280 was the area where if Tesla shorts could get the stock down to this price, they were looking really good, okay? They were looking really good. That was the first number. The next number is 329. 329 was the first place of resistance going into yesterday that, you know, when people looked at it, they thought, wow, if it could go through 329, watch out shorts, watch out, okay? And the last area is $350. This was the last area of resistance that if it's like, if it blows through there, it's gonna probably blow through to its all-time high, okay? So those are the three numbers you had to keep in mind going into the last 24 hours in Tesla stock, all right? Now, first off, Tesla shares, they usually trade around 7 million, which is a ton for a stock of this type of price. We're talking $300 plus stock. 7 million shares to trade on average day. That's a lot, all right? Today, over 22 million shares traded. It did over a triple up, all right? That's a lot of shorts covering their shares. Basically, when a short seller covers their shares, they have to buy back the amount of shares they had out there. And it's also a lot of buying activity from longs out there, all right? So yesterday, going into the earnings, Tesla shares were around $300. Today, they're around $349. Keep in mind, it's just on that 350 level, okay? So this is what has happened here with Tesla's stock chart in the last 24 hours. So earnings come out, all right? Earnings come out and they're announced and everybody can see them. And Tesla stock, you know, starts out here around the $300 level. And at first it goes up, and then it goes down. It actually goes below the $300 level, okay? It starts entering the 290s, 295, 292 after hours and whatnot. Then it pops back up, then it goes up a little bit, then it pops back down, but it never got down anywhere close to the $280 level, which was a bad sign for the short sellers out there, okay? Then all of a sudden, everybody started to look at the numbers more in depth. First they saw that, you know, just the EPS had missed and whatnot, and revenue didn't blow anybody out of the water. It beat, but it didn't blow anybody out of the water. So those are the first two numbers people looked at. And so the stock's just kind of moving up and down and up and down. And then all of a sudden, everybody started focusing on the $2.2 billion in cash the company has right now. And all of a sudden, it was like, oh, this company's not going out of business. They're not going to need to do an imminent capital raise anytime soon. And next thing you know, the stock shoots up, and it's around 4% up going into the conference call, okay? Going into the conference call, it was up around 4%. So as of right now, it's looking pretty good for the longs. The shorts are not panicking at this point in time, okay? Some of the shorts had already you know, gotten out of their positions because they saw the 2.2 billion. They're like, oh man, this company's not gonna, but that was some of the smart shorts did that. They covered right then and there and they're like, okay, we'll get out of this now, okay? After hours, before the conference call even starts. But most short sellers going in where they're like, it's okay, Elon will screw up. Elon's gonna say something crazy. Elon's gonna get mad at an analyst or something like that. Something bad's gonna happen. We're okay right now. And what ended up happening is the first piece of great news ended up coming out. And next thing you know, the stock was up 6%, okay? The next piece of great news comes out, it's up 7%. The next piece of great news comes out, it's up 8%. And by the time the conference call's over, it's up around 9% after hours, okay? Now, there are two ways shorts we're looking at this. So like, okay, you know what? It'll end up selling off tomorrow. We're going to be okay with this one. Yeah, it's up huge after hours, but we'll be all right. We'll be all right, okay? We'll be all right. Now, as a short seller, you like all these good pieces of news that came out, like you should have just known, like, let me just cover my position and get out of the stock. But we'll get into why they didn't do that in just a minute, okay? So this is what happens, all right? Now, the stock was still under the 329 level going into the open today, okay? It was under 329 after hours. I think it closed yesterday around 327, 328, which put it up around 9%, all right? But it's under that key level. Then all of a sudden what happens is Tesla blows through the 329 level and it goes up to about 10% to 11% up during the actual trading day. And this is when a lot of shorts started to say, okay, it just blew through the 329 level. We need to get out of this now. And shorts started covering. And this just sent the stock up bigger and bigger and bigger. Plus you had a lot of longs buying on top of all this, all right? Which just sent the stock up more and more, and why it ended up closing at around $349 here at the close, all right? Now, the scary thing for short sellers who did not cover yet, the scary thing is we're right under this $350 level, okay? We're right under this $350 level. So why short sellers here were like, okay, we need to get out of this, we need to get out of this. There's a lot of good news. Our short thesis is crumbling. Some short sellers said, you know what, okay, as long as we stay under the 350 level, we're okay with this one. We're okay with this one. Well, now we're right here, guys. And so a lot of people believe that if it blows through that 350 level, we're going right back up to all-time highs. Now, we've seen Tesla stock, you know, many times over go up 100% plus in a matter of, you know, a 6 to 9 month span, more than 100% plus in a 6 to 9 month span. We saw that in 2013, the stock like over tripled, okay, in a very, very short amount of time. So that's kind of a worry. Is the stock going to triple here in a short amount of time? I highly doubt that as a long, highly doubt that. I would be sick, but I highly doubt that. But the bottom line is, if this all of a sudden explodes to a $600 stock and you're short these shares, you're going to get absolutely slaughtered. You're probably going to have to cover. Your brokerage is more than likely going to make you cover somewhere along the lines, okay? Now, here's the worst part for Tesla short sellers, okay? Here's the worst part for Tesla short sellers is, I think for a lot of them, the truth has finally come out and they finally realize that they are wrong on this stock, okay? Tesla short sellers have been 100% wrong the entire time they've been in the stock. Tesla came public around 2010. It's been a public company for 7-8 years now, all right? That entire time, Tesla's had a massive amount of their shares short. We're talking somewhere around 30%, okay? It's not like Tesla's some new short position. And Tesla used to be a stock that was like a $20 stock. And now it's a $349 stock, okay? So Tesla short sellers have been destroyed every single year pretty much since this stock has come about, okay? They've been destroyed, and destroyed again, all right? Now, it's always had a big short position. And the thought has always been from short sellers that the ICE automakers are going to somehow come out and they're going to, you know, take out Tesla or whatever, which I think is pretty hilarious. Think about it in this respect. If phone manufacturers, Nokias of the world and those type of companies, right, BlackBerry and all the ones that were dominant when the iPhone was about to come out, right, if all those guys couldn't figure out how to create a competitive smartphone against Apple, do you think on the auto side, the ICE automakers are going to be able to come out with something seriously competitive with a Tesla? It's two totally different models. If a company can't come out with a cell phone, which is a much simpler process to create a basic smartphone, then create an electric automobile, they're not even on the same levels, okay? Not even on the same levels. If those guys couldn't do it, what makes you think an ICE automaker can do it just easily? Oh yeah, they can just do that so easily. You got to be like out of your mind, okay? So what their thought process has been for all these years is everybody's coming. Everybody's coming for Tesla. Everybody's coming for Tesla. And now it's, you know, we're going into the back half of 2018 and we have yet to see any serious competitors do anything out there. Where are the numbers for any of these guys that are the competitors? Where are the numbers? There's nothing to show for it, okay? They have nothing to show for it. We're going into the back half of 2018 and it's the same song and dance that these short sellers have tried to tell us. Oh, everybody's coming for Tesla. Where are the numbers at? No one's doing numbers except Tesla and electric automobiles, okay? The short seller thesis has been Tesla's going to run out of money. Tesla's going to run out of money. They're not going to have any more money to do anything. Well, Elon Musk just pretty much ruined that on the conference call last night when he said the company expects to be profitable from here on out on a non-GAAP basis, guys. That is a big, big thing, okay? Cash flow positive, barring any, insane things to happen, a recession or something like that, the company expects to be cash flow positive from here on out. So as a short seller, your two main theses on this stock are gone. Your two main things. The other guys are coming. Where are they at? Where are their numbers at? They're nowhere to be found. You've been telling us this for years and years and years and years. Where are they all at, okay? And the second part is they're going to run out of money. Well, if the company expects to be cash flow positive from here on out, what do you have to go on if you're a short seller at this point in time? So the smart short sellers, they just admitted their loss here. They covered their shares. They said, you know what, live to fight another day. However, most short sellers are still short going into this one. And what it comes down to, guys, I'll just be completely honest, it comes down to human emotions, okay? These are a lot of men out there, okay? Men, what do we like to do? We like to fight to the death. We believe we're right on something and we will fight to the death. We want to win. We've got to win. We can't accept that we failed, okay? It is so hard for us to just accept we were wrong. These short sellers have been wrong every step of the way, and it's just looking more and more like they are completely false in their thinking around Tesla stock. But the short sellers will not just admit that, dude, we were wrong on this one, okay? And it's a hard thing. As a male, it is a hard thing. As someone, that wants to be the best and, that wants to just fight to the death, it's really hard for us, okay? But these short sellers just gotta, look in the mirror and say, dude, we lost on that one. There are plenty of other ones we can make money on. But so many of these short sellers have gotten so caught up into looking into Tesla and their hate on Tesla and just focusing on the negatives of Tesla and just with their blinders on and just, let's just look at the negatives and negatives and negatives. With this stock, they've gotten so focused on that they can't even open their eyes and see, oh my gosh, this is a company changing the world. This is a company doing huge things. This is a company that even if they ran out of money, they would be able to get money from any bank out there. Anybody out there would loan money to them. If they wanted to sell the company, they could sell it for a huge premium tomorrow to an Apple or Google or Facebook or an Amazon or pretty much any company out there, okay? Because of the technology behind this, because of the leader of this company. So the whole shorts thesis is coming to fruition in the opposite way that it was supposed to. The fact that all these competitors are coming, it's not true. They're not doing numbers. None of these guys are doing numbers. No one's excited for these electric cars these other guys are making, okay? Everybody wants a Tesla if you want an electric car, all right? Oh, they're running out of money. It's not true. So the short sellers, they just got to look in the mirror and say, you know what, we were wrong. I should have done this. Once again, it's a hard thing to do as a male. I should have done this with GoPro a long time ago. Remember, I was bullish on GoPro 2016, 2017. I should have acknowledged when the drones started falling out of the sky. I should have said, you know what? Dude, I'm wrong about this position. The management has no competency. They're, completely, idiotic. They're making bad moves. They're screwing up left and right. Let me get out of the stock. I could have got out of that stock with a profit. But the male inside me said, no, Jeremy, let's fight this one to the death. Let's fight this one to the death. They're going to somehow make it through. It was stupid. If I looked at all the facts right in front of me, I should have said, I need to get out of this stock right now. There's a company that's failing. But no, the male inside me said, I want to fight to the death. And that's what's happening with these short sellers. They're totally in denial right now. They will not open their eyes to anything that's going on. The demand, the fact that Tesla's ramping. They said Tesla wouldn't be able to ramp. They're ramping huge now. Everything that Tesla's doing out there, these short sellers are completely ignorant to it. They got blinders on and they just want to look at, they're losing money right now and maybe they'll run out of money or something like that. When it's like, dude, if they ran out of money, they would be able to raise money in a snap of a finger. The short sellers do not want to accept their loss, and it's just, they need to accept their loss now before this gets a lot worse. Because who knows, could Tesla fall back down? Could. But at the same time, this is a stock that, could rise, another 50 to 100% within 12 months, okay? And as a short seller, your short thesis just gets worse and worse and worse, and you lose more and more money. Short sellers lost around $2 billion today. Around $2 billion is what short sellers lost today in Tesla stock. And they've consistently lost massive amounts of money since this company came public around, I think it was around $17 a share, okay? Short sellers just gotta look in the mirror and say, dude, we lost this one. We lost this one. Let's move on to the next one, man. Let's move on to the next one. And the funny thing with short sellers, if you ask them what price are you shorting this down to, almost all of them are going to say, we're shorting it down to zero. So even if, let's say they were short and they try to make a quick profit, they wouldn't. They wouldn't. They're trying to short this down to zero, and it's a completely unrealistic game these shorts are trying to play. But it's pride. It's the male pride at the end of the day. They don't want to accept their loss. I understand it. I've gone through it before. Man. Sometimes you just got to look in the mirror and say, dude, we messed up on this one. It's time to move on. Let's move on to the next one. It's the best thing you can ever do. It's the best thing I ever did, okay? When I finally accepted my GoPro loss in January of this year, right? It was the best thing I ever do. I stuck all that money into Callaway Golf, and now Callaway's up 30+% on that position. And then after hours, it's up another 4+% off their great earnings. I just had to accept. Imagine if I was still in GoPro stock. GoPro stock is down since I got out in January. Imagine if I was still in GoPro stock, still trying to, hold my pride and that it would somehow work out or whatnot. I would have missed a 30+% gain in the past 6-7 months in Callaway. You just got to accept the loss sometimes and say, man, dude, we screwed up on this one. Let's move on. It is what it is. Everybody screws up in this game. Whether you're a short seller, long, anybody, you're going to make mistakes sometimes. Short sellers, I think some of them have smartened up and realized, dude, our short thesis is crumbling every single day as time goes on. We need to accept our loss and go on from here. Some people don't want to do it, guys. It is what it is. It's a pretty interesting one to watch. It's going to be a fun one to watch as time goes on. Does it give back some of its gains? Does it explode through that 350 level? And next thing you know, we're at all-time highs. I would love to know your guys' opinion down there in that comment section. As always, in that description down there, premium courses I have down there, my Instagram, Snapchat, and all that kind of stuff. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.